It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be talking about the content, well, I guess if that's what you want to call it, coming to NBA 2K23 MyTEAM tomorrow. We've got a 7'5" center in Chuck Nevitt coming. We also do see a point guard, Manu Ginobili, who, if he's anything like last year's Manu Ginobili, was really solid in general. If you guys remember this, Manu did get the XM base on very quick. Also get Thurl Bailey, who is sure to have, a really good release and be one of the top 3 in the budget small forwards in my team. So, got a lot of excitement coming to my team tomorrow. Now, before we dive any further into that, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys do smash that subscribe button. We're on the road towards 120,000 subscribers. Now, here's the deal. Let's start it off with Keldon Johnson. What do I expect out of Keldon Johnson? Well, to be honest with you, not much. I mean, he's 6'6". The Keldon Johnson base is not great. I know he can play the shooting guard position, but he's going to need an overhaul. And I'm not going to sit up here and say they're not for sure going to change his release, because they could change his release. I'm just saying I don't really expect 2K to do anything with him. I mean, it's not like Keldon Johnson is a guy that people are going to be excited for, even if they do change his release. And, he's probably the least exciting card that we are getting tomorrow as well. So for me, from my side looking at it, I don't expect much out of Keldon Johnson. Now, did we get Chuck last year? I don't think we did. Did we get him this year? Or maybe we did last year. Let me see. Oh, we did. We got a Chuck last year at 7'5". And this is what the card looked like. Expect Chuck to be very similar to George Mearson, okay? And again, I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to be the exact same card, but they're both going to be pink diamonds, probably both going to be pretty slow. The one thing I will say is I'm glad 2K is giving us more and more Giants in my team, just for the sole fact of, okay, we need cards to compete against Taco and Yao. And if it has to be these pink diamonds that are slow, so be it. At least we've got cards that we can run and that can somewhat, I'm not going to say compete, but somewhat hold their own against, the Tacos and Yaos of the world. And I guess Chuck Nevitt is going to do exactly that. Again, I don't expect his speed to be great. I don't expect him to have a 3-ball because, again, if we go to last year's Chuck card, I mean, he had what? A 25 3-ball. It's just, you need to really limit your expectations with Chuck. He is 7'5", though, and I mean, that's going to be the positives of the card, but again, you got to kind of limit your expectations when it comes down to these tall cards, because if they're not going to give Mearson a good card, they're not going to give Chuck Nevitt a good card. That's just the way it ultimately is going to be. And then we see Thurl Bailey. Now, I'm going to start with this Thurl Bailey and talk about him for a little while. I feel like this Thurl Bailey, or even, I'm not even going to stay with him, because we've got last year's Thurl Bailey's cards who have, obviously, we got this Thurl Bailey who was great. Then we said the Dark Matter Thurl Bailey. I feel like Thurl Bailey cards are always really good and really solid in my team. Last year, jump shot 22 on quick was fine. His upper was kind of interesting last year. This year, we got the Romeo Langford base with the out upper on normal. Obviously, expect that to be on very quick. But not only that, he's 6'11". He's probably going to get a new dribble style. Talk about a guy at that small forward position, especially with the hero Thurl Bailey, who is going to be able to compete at the highest level. I think you've got something with him there in general. Again, Thurl Bailey, not a card that a lot of people are going to necessarily lose their minds over, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think he's a card that you should be excited about, at least somewhat excited about, because he's long, he's lengthy, he's going to have a smooth release. And at least the heroic version of Thurl should be relatively cheap. Because if we go to last week's hero drop, okay, or last week's heroic drop, whatever you want to call it, we saw Joel Embiid, obviously, as our Dark Matter. And when you got to the Galaxy Opal, it was Tony Kukoc. Now, Kukoc was okay in his own right. I'm not going to sit here and slander the card. But the heroic version of Kukoc right now is going for like 10,000 MT. And that should be the same way with Thurl Bailey. The heroic Thurl Bailey should be really cheap. And you should be able to ball on a budget, pick the card up for relatively cheap, and have success with him. Again, Thurl Bailey cards are always decent, and this year he kind of fits the meta of the game, the tall meta of the game. Should be able to knock down shots for you, compete at a decently high level, and that is all you need out of the card. Again, the hero version of Thurl probably will be There's no probability about it. He's going to be better. Is he going to be worth the MT? That's what you guys are ultimately going to have to decide for yourselves. Again, I think Thurl Bailey is something to get excited about. Then we've got Manu Ginobili, and I'm gonna show you guys something with Manu Ginobili. Now, last year we got this point guard metamorphosis Manu Ginobili, who did see that Dante Exum base on quick. I'm hoping, and this is just me and my hope, we get a good Manu Ginobili card, because last year he even came as invincible card with that Francis size up, obviously the Trey leaner. And if he gets those things, let's say he gets, you know, a good dribble style. Let's say the MJ dribble style, for example. He gets the Trey leaner. What's there going to be not to like about Manu Ginobili? Good release. He gets the Trey leaner. He's going to be 6'6", going to be able to standing dunk. And we've got to talk about the hero version of Manu is going to have 40 Hall of Fame badges. You're telling me he's not going to be one of the best point guards in the game? Maybe because he has that skinny type of player build. But if he has good six, if he has a good release, if he has the Trey leaner and can compete on the defensive end of the court, tell me what there is not to like on the defensive end or just on the court in general for Manu Ginobili, because I don't get it. I don't really understand it. I'm high on Manu right now at the time I'm recording this, as I think he can be one of the top, 5 or 6 point guards in the entire game with the hero version of the card. Now, the other Manu still isn't going to be cheap, okay? I don't expect the heroic Manu to be cheap. But again, I do expect him to be able to move decently well. I expect his, again, defense to be able to hold it down at 6'6", with a decent frame. It all just is going to come down to what release are they going to give Manu. Because last year, they had the Dante Exum base to give to him. Are they going to keep that trend up and give him the Kevin Porter Jr. base? Because again, last year, the Exum base was kind of it. That was the base everybody wanted. Everybody, was basically kind of awing, or, everybody lost their mind about. Are they going to give him the KPJ base? That's ultimately the big question for Manu Ginobili. If they do give him the KPJ base, then you got something different to talk about with Manu Ginobili. If they don't, then we'll see. Because if they really want to hold Manu Ginobili, which it's a Tuesday drop, they could give Manu Ginobili what we've seen this year, right? And they could give him the Manu Ginobili treatment, which is a horrible release, not great dribble six, a normal leaner. Like, they don't have to juice him. They don't have to give him the Trey leaner. They don't have to make his dribble six great. They don't have to do any of that. That's just me, kind of wishful thinking for Manu Ginobili. I love the fact of when we get new fun cards to use in my team. And I think Manu Ginobili could be exactly that. Now, I don't have a problem with Thurl Bailey. I think he could be fun. I think Chuck Nevitt, for budget ballers out there, could be fine as well. I'm just saying, as far as a fun point guard to use in that's Manu Ginobili. I think his ability is definitely there. I just hope 2K ultimately does make him right. So for me, I think the honest thing to say is Thurl Bailey's going to be good. The rest of the cards, honestly, I don't know about, right? I don't know. I doubt they make Chuck Nevitt good. Keldon Johnson is probably not going to be great. I mean, Manu Ginobili, I'm wishful thinking, hoping they give him KPJ. But again, it's just something I'm not necessarily sold on. So for me, I'm not that optimistic going into tomorrow's content drop. I'm hopeful, wishful, but again, not optimistic at the end of the day. I want to know your thoughts on this content drop down below in the comments. Do you guys think Manu Ginobili is going to get the KPJ treatment, or, a great release treatment? Do you guys think Thurl Bailey is going to be good? Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.